everyone, Amanda here. So I've got a fabulous little wallet for you to try. I'm going to do a share of mine, and then the second half of the video is going to be a tutorial on how to put it together. All of the cutting and scoring is going to be over on my Ko-fi for you to have a look at. The link's in the description below. So the purpose of this little project was to use up all of my leftover bits and bobs from printing out my Victorian Yuletide kit and some of the printables that I give for free on my group. So this measures 8 by 4.5. It's lovely and it's all matted and it's all lovely and tidy. It would slip inside a journal or be a standalone project. So the cover here is magnetised. Okay, you ready? Click. And I've used up some rose gold mirror board here, and I've used white cardstock because that's just what I had plenty of, and I haven't inked anything. And the reason I've not inked anything is because I wanted that crisp white look. So you could ink if you wanted. Okay, so this opens like so. We've got this lovely tartan, I call it, or plaid, and we do have a pocket here. And I didn't put anything in the pocket because when it's closed I wanted to be able to just see that sliver of that pretty paper underneath. Okay, now it is magnetised. Mine are too bulky. I've got some slimmer ones on order, but I still wanted to do it anyway. So slimmer, thinner magnetic discs won't show. So we've got a pocket there, and then this opens like so. I'm just wondering if I can zoom out. No, that's in, Amanda. Zoom out, trying to hide the mess. And the idea here, like I say, it's almost like a bit of the patchwork collage. I'm using up bits that I'd cut and printed so that they don't just get wasted. You can make a lovely project out of them. So on this bit here, I'm showcasing some of the images of the lovely girls there. So I think that's fabulous, and it's also a little belly band for a tag or a card or whatever, as I've used here. Then up here we've got a small little pocket at the top just for little tiny ephemera, little bits and bobs. I think that's really cute. And then in the centre here we've got these lovely flaps, okay, and we've got a stacked pocket. So in here, for example, I've put one of my photo slides and a couple of my little shakers. Alright, and it's all lined with leftover bits of the collage and things from the kits, and these are freebies. I've even used up the scraps of my mirror board by just decorating the edges there. So it's a great way to use up those scraps rather than throw them. And then in the top pocket here, I've got some lovely journaling cards. And they're quite sizable, it's quite a deep pocket. So they go in there like so. And these go in here like so. Okay, and then just for a little added extra touch, we've got these little flaps, but this one slides all the way out. It's the full length of the booklet for you to journal on, or whatever you like to do, and that just slides back in there nicely. And this one is attached, so that one slides in and then it shuts prettily. So it's just a really lovely little project to try. Practice some of your matting and layering and using up your scraps. So if you'd like to see how this is made, stay tuned for the second part of the video. Okay, so we're gonna do our wallet. I'm gonna tell you the pieces and the sizes and the scoring. Now don't worry if you miss any of the information that I give. There will be a link in the description box below to my Ko-fi site and to the post that I'm going to put up there, which will share this video, and underneath will be all of the measurements and all of the scoring, so you can go on over there and get them from there. Okay, so to start with, for our base we have a piece cut to 12 by 8. Now, I've made this out of 12 by 12 so that it's easy for anybody to follow no matter what size their normal cardstock is, because I believe that 12 by 12 is 12 by 12 everywhere. So we're then going to score at, it's on this side, on the long side we're going to score at 4 1/4, 4 5/8, 9 1/8 and 9 1/2. Okay, and then when you fold and burnish all of those, it will close like so. So you'll have one flap that's shorter, that's your front, and this is the bottom. Now this bottom piece here, you want to put it back in your trimmer and just take off between 1/8 and 1/4 inch. Just so that when it closes like so, you've got a gap so it's not catching on the score there, so it folds nicely. Okay, like so. Alright, so that's where I got up to before I was interrupted. So the next piece we're going to put on is our middle piece. Okay, and this is going to give us a lovely pocket, and also, what else am I putting on there? Let me just remind myself. I just need to look at my sample to remember. Oh yeah, we've got pockets and flaps on here. So this one measures 8 by 5 1/8, and then you put it on the short side and you score at 3/8 inch. Yeah, and 4 3/4. So basically it's 3/8 inch on each side. And fold and burnish. Okay, I'm going to get my skinny score tape. So this is okay, so there are a few parts where I've just sped it up, where I'm adding tape. So the best tip that I can give you here is when you're putting your tape on, don't pull it tight. Place it on and tap the, do it on gently, because if you create tension in your tape, then it just won't lay nicely. As you can see, I'm using my famous pokey tool. Stay to the end for information regarding this. I've got a little surprise for you, but you'll need to watch the video all the way through. So there we go. I'm just trimming the edge of mine there because I've not cut it flush, because my trimmer blades are absolutely blunt. So you won't need to do that, so long as yours is fine. So then I have, let's have a look. What's this piece? Top small belly tuck. So this one measures 1 inches by 4 3/4, and we've done the 3/8 inch score at either side again there, like so. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to notch this one because I want to glue the bottom. So I'm going to do quite a deep notch. So go from the outer edge of the score line up. Don't cut the score line away or you'll have a gap when you fold it, and you don't want that. So then you just put tape on there. If you're clever, you'll put tape on before you trim it to size, and then you don't have to worry about an overhang. Okay, and let me just trim that tape off. You don't want overhang on your tape because otherwise it will stick to stuff it's not meant to stick to. Okay. So bear with me until the end. It is worth it. It's a nice little project. I'm actually using A3 cardstock here, but I believe you can do it with a couple of sheets of 12 by 12. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue the bottom of this, because when I did my sample, originally it was going to be a belly band, but then the items I was putting in were slipping out, and I didn't really want them to. So I decided to turn it into a little pocket, as you will see at the beginning of the video when I show you the completed project. Okay. So we're going to line this to this. So this is the top flap. It's the shortest one. The longest one is the bottom flap. Okay, so remember, short at the top, longer at the bottom. So I'm going to line it up against the first score line, but in a bit. Okay, not right on the score line, just above it, and in a bit. Okay. Now, on my sample, okay, I think I matted first. Did I? I don't know. But you can always mat around it anyway. You can always piece it up. Or if you're really clever, you'll put this in. Let's just move it to, what's that? I'm alright, we're at 1/4 of an inch, just under 1/4 of an inch, so I can mat my paper around that anyway. Okay, but you would mat your paper first. You would probably mat your paper on anything first. Right, so that's those two. So what's this one? This is the large front belly band. Okay, so the measurements for the large front belly band is 8 3/4 by 1 7/8, and again we've got our 3/8 of an inch at either end, which we're going to fold in, and again I'm going to notch. So I'll do my tape first. And so I've sped this bit up again. It's very boring watching somebody putting tape on. I have just notched at the bottom because I'm going to add some glue to make it into a pocket so that things don't slip out the other side. So that's basically, there's nothing major, that you're not missing anything on this bit, so I thought I'd speed it up. Okay, so the inside belly band. I've had to edit this bit because I cut mine wrong. My own project and I cut it wrong. So this measures 4 7/8 by 2.5, and we score on each end at 3/8 of an inch. Okay, now this measures 8, so the centre is 4. Okay, so there's my little mark for there, and then this measures 2.5. So we want to find the centre of there, which is roughly 1 1/4. About there, and them two little lines will just help us to line it up. Okay, so then we're going to go in with our score tape again, and we're going to add that on there. Okay doke. I did practice this project to make sure I didn't get anything wrong. I'll get better. Bear with me. Before you know it, I'll be amazing. God help us when we start doing a mini albums. They'll be all over the place. Right. So this one's kind of centering. Once you have, I always leave a little tiny gap just to make sure that everything closes nicely, so we're not going over the score line. Okay, so again you would mat your paper under there first, because you're going to have it ever so slightly a slight increment, because I don't want the measurements being a little bit off and then this fold hanging over the edge of the card. We don't want that, it looks ugly, and I know because I've tried it. So this part here, right, so this is our long right flap. Now, depending on how tightly you have scored and taped this part down, which is a pocket, you might need to cut a sliver off of this one. So this measures, where are we? It is the long right flip, 10 7/8 by 4 1/4. Now if you struggle sliding it in, okay, because it's been measured within an inch of its life, you may need to just cut a tiny bit off. Now I can see already that I'm going to have to just trim some off of mine. So let's have a look. 4 1/4 is the size of the pocket. So I don't know what I've cut that to. I don't think I did. I think I was waiting. To have a look. Let me just see if that will slide. Should slide in there fine now. So 10 7/8 by 4 1/4, and then you score on one side at 3 inches, and then when you fold it, then this wants to be on your right hand side, and it will slide in there. Okay. Alright, and it will slide the full length right to there, so that when you pull it out, you've got all of that journaling space or whatever you want to put on there. Okay, so that will slide all the way in. Come on, don't be naughty, you just went in once. I think sometimes when you're filming, everything just goes wrong. So let's get back to professional. then you want a flap on the left, obviously. So does that measure the same as that? Yes, it does. So this short left flap measures 4 1/4 by 3 3/8, and then on the short side you're going to score at 3/8 of an inch. Now let's just have a look and see if there's going to be a difference there now. So 4 1/4. There we go. There. Okay. I think I'd started trimming mine and then my blade went, so I didn't finish some of my trimming. So for this one we're going to put our tape on the inside. Okay, so normally when you're doing flips and things you put it on this side. Well, this time we're going to put it on the inside where the bump is. When you score, you've got an indent, and then when you turn it over you've got a bump. So we're going to put tape on the bump side. Give that a press and take the backing off. Make sure we've not got any overhang. And so now this is going to just lift this piece out again, and it's going to attach to the inside of this pocket. Okay, now if you want, and you can follow what I'm doing, you could add that before you stick this down, but I just found it easier to just do it like this. Okay, so tuck it in. Get in, you slippery little sucker. Get it in, line it up, make sure it's in the centre and that it's not right on the score line, but as close as you can so that it folds over nicely. Centralise it and then press. Okay, and that adds that flip. And then this one slides back in here. Okay, if it'll go in. Alright. And then you just sometimes might need to just lift that up a little bit so that that will go all the way in. Okay, and then you've got them 2 flips there. Now, I did have the idea of adding magnets. Now, I'm actually filming this bit before I do my decorating, so I don't know if I'm adding magnets there because mine are a little bit bulky. If not, with time it'll just stay flat anyway, so it's fine. Okay, and that will keep it all closed. But you can add magnets, or you could do your, you know, your circle policy closure there if you wanted. I don't feel like it's necessary. I like the interaction. Okay, so that's that bit. Now we're going to add a stacked pocket on here, on this lovely big space. So the stacked pocket measures 8 5/8 by 4. Score on both sides at 3/8 of an inch, then take the whole thing and cut it at 2.5 inches. Okay, so that you've got a small pocket and a larger pocket. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to notch again to the far side of the score line so we don't end up with a gap, just because I'm going to glue the bottom, and so I don't want the bulk of that on the bottom as well. Okay, give it a score and a burnish, especially with these stacked pockets, because they are stacked you don't want a lots of bulk. Okay, then add your tape. On either end. Get off. Get off. Don't want you on there. Okay. There we go. And we're going to add, I'll just take my tape off first, otherwise my glue might well dry up. Okie dokie. I don't know how people do like mini album tutorials that go on for an hour doing all of this scoring and measuring and cutting. They must have brains like Einstein. They really must. I really do admire them. Thin bead of glue, and I've been asked where I get my fine tip glue bottle from. This is a Stampin' Up glue bottle, and I emptied the Stampin' Up glue because I didn't like it, because when it dries it's shiny. Washed it out, and in there I have put Collal. Right, so now we're going to glue this on here. Don't worry about my pencil marks, that they will rub off, will rub out. So this you can go right up against the bottom on this one, because it's this is the pocket, it's not the score line. We've already allowed room on the pocket for the score line, so this you go right down to the bottom of the pocket, centralise it and press. And we're on the final hurdle, so this is going to be a smaller pocket that's going to go at the top, but we're going to leave it open so that tags will go down the back and will go the full length. So again, we're going to notch on the far side of the score line, not on the score line and not before it, otherwise you'll end up with a ugly gap when you fold it like that. Okay, get off, you slippery little sucker. Right, so now I'm going to add tape on here. Let me just cut that edge straight, so that's bugging me. Okay, let me do it this way. Okay. I'm just going to trim it at an angle so that I've got full tape everywhere. So keep forgetting to put it all the way along and then trim the whole thing, including the tape. I just keep forgetting, but that would be the sensible thing to do. But I do like to make myself, you know, make my life difficult. I like it. Right, so then we can remove these. Okay. Remove these. And remove these. Now if you're still watching, I am going to be doing a hidden giveaway in the next week or so. My friend that made this has actually sent me some more. She found a couple that she'd made and she sent them me. And I'm going to be giving one away. So make sure you're watching my videos, make sure you're subscribed and keep your eyes open, because when I do hidden giveaways, that's what they are, you know, it's just like a hidden one, it'll be like a comment at the end kind of thing. Right, just need to just slip that just ever so slightly inside that other one. It should just go in. There we go, and there we go, place that there, and then you've got your stacked pocket. So you've got a pocket there, okay, a pocket there, and they'll run into each other. You've got a little tuck there, you've got your sliding mechanism there, you've got two flaps there, belly band there. When you lift it up, you've got a pocket there, and this section here. And then you obviously, as you've seen from my sample, and I can't find anything, so we'll just use this. You're going to put something in there which will then act as a locking mechanism to keep it closed. So there you go. I hope you was able to follow me. Don't forget, all of the measurements will be on my Ko-fi, and it does make a lovely little wallet. It's nice and tidy, it's quite easy to do. I'm just lost my patience today with my trimmer. So not quite myself. But we got there, and I've shared and I've shown you how to do it. So I hope you will have a go. All joking apart, it's been fun, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.